We're here with Michael from Mini Mansions. Welcome to Cambridge.
Thank you.
It's a lovely, miserable day, as usual, in England.
Tell me about it. Been here for 2 weeks.
So how is the UK tour going so far?
It's been really good, man. It's probably, for us, we talked about it the other day, it was like maybe our best tour yet, because most of these are actually pretty much, they're all our own shows. And we've not played a lot of these cities before in the UK, especially on our own. And so to be able to play all our new songs in front of our own fans has been great. And they've all been packed shows and just really great for us. It's a good feeling.
Yeah, a couple have sold out. I think tonight in Cambridge is sold out as well. Is there like one highlight so far that really stuck out to you?
Every show's, to me, is equally as important, and no matter what, we give it everything we got, and kind of always let loose. So in England, it does feel a little bit like it's like Groundhog Day a little bit. It's like just like one big day, So there's not one memory that sticks out. We have a blast together, and the good thing is that we don't hate each other, so we have a lot of fun, and there's a lot of laughs every day.
Obviously, being over here, is there a favourite British kind of thing you guys like to do? Like either food-wise or like a place to go, place to visit or something?
We had a day off, so we decided to go into London. And, I mean, I guess London is the biggest, most metropolitan city in the UK, but we have a lot of friends there. So when we get to go to London, we have some spots, whether that's like a great curry spot or a pho spot. I've been going there for so many years that I kind of have my own spots, and especially food. Yeah, food's a big one. When you're on tour and you're kind of like, you're in these small venues and it smells like beer, and the floor sticks to your feet, and food is a great thing to
take your mind off that.
Yeah, totally. So yeah, we're big foodies, so we do some research and make sure we're going to the right places in each city.
Obviously, being over here, we kind of, us English people, we have kind of different sayings for things, maybe slang. Is there like a favourite English phrase or slang that you guys have picked up, or you kind of think's pretty funny?
Yeah, I mean, we keep saying,
"You're alright."
Over, I mean, it's just been like, we say it so much.
Alright, mate, how you doing?
We just go,
alright.
over and over and over again, especially John, and that keeps us laughing. And because our crew, they're English, so we're taking a piss. That's a good one too. Taking a piss. So we're taking a piss at them, but thankfully they're laughing with us too. They appreciate it that we're making fun of them in their faces. So
you're obviously familiar with the term banter as well, then?
Sure, banter. Yeah.
It's all banter, isn't it?
Yes. These are jokes.
Yeah, it's all jokes. So being on tour, what is like the most important item? Obviously not your phone or instruments, that type of thing. What's the most important item you have to bring with you on tour?
Not your phone.
Yeah, that isn't your phone.
In the UK, it's definitely a jacket. Because like we're from LA, so like most of the time we can roll in a t-shirt. But I love wearing a jacket. I'm a jacket kind of guy, so
I pulled out mine today as well. So
right,
it's all good.
It's necessary.
It is, yeah.
It's very necessary. I even double jacket, but we got our own Mini Mansions jackets.
Oh wow, they are pretty cool.
Let me show them off for you real quick. Let me just do this.
Yeah.
So we got our own. This is really important. We're not selling them yet, but these are just for the band so far.
Oh wow.
So these are
custom. Like hand stitched?
These are embroidered, by our homies in Mexico. No, but seriously, they're our homies in Mexico. Yeah. And so these jackets have been very important for us to keep warm.
Yeah, I'm pretty jealous right now.
Yeah, everyone wants them. We're gonna make them soon, I think, for other people.
I might definitely have to pick one of those up. Yeah. My jacket is falling apart, as you might.
Oh, we need to get you a new jacket, bro.
Yeah. Haggard.
You look good though.
Yeah, thank you. So let's talk about your brand new single, Hey Lover, that's just recently come out.
Mm-hmm.
How early in the recording process of that song did you know that was going to be a duet
as soon as I started writing it. It was written, and kind of the process started on tour. Touring's hard because you miss family and your significant others, and if you have kids especially.
Yeah.
And so that's a common theme for musicians on tour. And so it started when I was in this relationship, and I was gone a lot, and you gotta pick up the phone and sometimes have great conversations, and some are not the most fun. And so that song was inspired by things not going right because there's distance between you, and that conversation that we all have, even guys that are on on business trips, that aren't musicians, and they have to be away from their families a lot. Everyone has to go through that shit. It was just kind of literally kind of painting that conversation, into a song, and so I just knew that it needed a female voice to have it seem real.
So did you always have Alison in mind for that?
Yeah, I mean, to be honest, yes, a couple other names, popped in my brain because...
Was she the number one choice?
Yeah, well, she was the number one choice for many reasons. Like I said, I'm just being honest. There were other people I thought about because what if she didn't want to do it? What if she wasn't in town? And what if whatever? I don't know. But she's been a friend of mine for a long time now, and she probably the Kills took Mini Mansions on tour probably 8 years ago or something, and so she's been a fan of the music as I'm a fan of hers, and spent a lot of time together, and I just when you're collaborating with someone that isn't in your band, you really have, I feel like you have to have a certain amount of trust that they're going to deliver, because it is ultimately your song, and a song I wrote, and so having someone that you trust will convey the right emotion that you want to present, that you thought up, and I think she's such an amazing not just performer, but poet, artist, vocalist. So I knew she would be able to hit all those marks that comes with such an emotional song. Drums.
You just want to close the door, Sam.
There's drums too. Sam, close the door.
Thank you, Sam. Where was that music video filmed?
We filmed our part in a studio in Los Angeles called Electrobox Studios, where we recorded our previous record, The Great Pretenders. Our friend Woody Jackson owns probably my favorite studio in the world. It's one of the
retro stuff in there.
Yeah, it's one of the oldest studios that's still surviving in Los Angeles. He hasn't owned it since the beginning, but he took it over, redid it, expanded, but kept all the original elements and of the building. And even when he expanded, he replicated everything, the walls, the floors, perfectly.
Yeah.
It's beautiful. He's got the most insane gear collection that you could ever imagine. So that's where we recorded it. And then she did it at her home in Nashville.
Oh, wow. That's really
so
cool.
It really was a long distance.
Yeah, wow.
It really, yeah.
Obviously, being on tour, being a musician full time, what do you guys do sort of on your day off that isn't music related? What's your favourite thing to do?
I like alone time. So, as much as that's possible, I usually do a lot of work when I have a day off, because you don't get a lot of time to just sit down, and there's a lot of work involved that isn't just rocking.
Yeah.
And also, if there's a great spa,
yeah,
I like to get maybe a massage. My body, I feel like an 80-year-old man. I'm only 33, but so I've been throwing my body around for the last 20 years. So I kind of need someone to take care of my body.
That's fair
and
enough.
I can't rub myself.
No. You've got a new album coming out on the 26th of July. Guy Walks Into a Bar.
Mm-hmm.
So obviously you've kind of gone through the name and stuff in previous interviews. So I want to ask you, what was like the most challenging part of the recording process for this album?
I think there was a lot of distance between the three Mini Mansions members at multiple parts of the process, because we were touring in different bands and sometimes at different times, and I'd be at home and they'd be on tour with Shadow Puppets, or I was on tour with Queens and they were at home. So that was probably the most difficult, and then because this record was so real to me, they were very accepting of like these songs that I needed to get out and needed to go on the record, and because they were very personal to me. But then the hard part was like some songs were there, maybe they didn't think a certain song should make the record, but I felt very strongly that it needed to, because it completed the story that we had. We had this vision of what the record should be, and it's not a concept record, but it is a chronological piece, from beginning to end of a relationship. So a song like Tears in Her Eyes, which is the last song on the record, they weren't the biggest fan of, I guess, but I felt like it was very important to close the record with that song. So just having that and like being really emotionally tied to something, and having your bandmates and friends say like, I don't know, was a really hard thing, because you're just like, it has to. And that's tough.
Have you won them over now with those songs?
It's on the record.
So you won.
I guess, yeah. We just made it better until everyone was like, okay, this is great.
My last question is, if you could only describe the album in just one word, what would that word be? Tough question.
I have two, but I'd say real. It's very real.
No, I like that. That's cool. I think we're done.
All right. Okay, cool.
Cheers, man.
Cheers, man. Thank you.
Appreciate your time.
No problem.